Okay, let's continue our discussion. So, to compute for the net bearing capacity, so we have here our equation for the net bearing capacity for Math Foundation. If the factor of safety is equal to 3, this equation, the net allowable bearing capacity now is this one. So we have this expression for the net allowable bearing capacity for Math Foundation if the given factor of safety is equal to 3. So the net allowable bearing capacity for mats constructed over granular soil deposit can be adequately determined from the standard penetration resistance number. So you can also compute for the net allowable bearing capacity for mat foundation that is constructed over granular soil. Granular soil can be a sand, over a gravel or silt, and based on the standard penetration resistance number values. So you have this equation. If you're going to compute for the net allowable bearing capacity for mat constructed over granular deposit soil, if you're making use of the value of the standard penetration resistance numbers. However, when the width B is large, the preceding equation can be approximated as, so if you have a large value of your width of the foundation, you can make use of this equation. And it can also express in English unit using this formula. So this is an illustration for a net pressure on soil caused by a mat foundation. So you have here the equation for the net allowable bearing capacity. You have here using the standard penetration resistance value. So this is in SI unit, this is in English unit. However, the net allowable pressure applied on the foundation based on this figure is given by this expression. You have Q is equal to capital Q all over the A minus gamma times dF. So if we're going to have a sample problem, the first problem is you're going to determine the net ultimate bearing capacity of a mat foundation measuring 45 feet by 30 feet on a saturated clay with CCU which is equal to 1,950 pounds per square feet. Our phi is equal to 0 and dF is equal to 6.5. So this is the equation that you're going to use if you're going to compute for the net ultimate bearing capacity for mat foundation that is constructed on a saturated clay. So based on our equation a while ago, you make use of this expression, this formula. So simply have to substitute the given values and you can have now the value which is 12,307 pounds per square feet. For this second example, you're going to compute for the net allowable bearing capacity of mat foundation that is constructed over a sand deposit, and you're going to utilize the standard penetration resistant value. For this one, you're given now with the average penetration number for the standard penetration resistance value, which is n sub 60, and the average value here is equal to 10. So using the equation for the net allowable bearing capacity, using the standard penetration number values, you are given with this expression. So you're going to make use of this equation. Simply have to substitute the given value for each parameters, and you obtain now 133.25 kilonewton per meter squared. Now we move on to the differential settlement of mats. So in 1988, the American Concrete Institute Committee 336 suggested a method for calculating the differential settlement of mat foundation. So according to this method, you're going to compute for the K sub R, which is our rigidity factor, and it is equal to modulus of elasticity of the material used in the structure multiplied to the moment of inertia of the structure per unit length at right angles of B all over the modulus of elasticity of the soil multiplied to the cube of the width of the foundation. So, however, our E prime I sub B can be expressed in this equation that it is equal to E sub prime multiplied to I sub F plus the summation of I sub B plus the summation of A H cubed all over 12. Of course, this is the rigidity factor of the superstructure, the foundation, per unit length of the right angle to B. This one is the flexural rigidity of the frame members. And you have the flexural rigidity of the shear wall, you have the shear wall thickness, you have the shear wall height, and flexibility of the foundation. However, based on the value for the rigidity factor, K sub R, the ratio of the differential settlement to the total settlement can be estimated using these specific values. The first one, if your rigidity factor is greater than 0.5, it can be treated as a rigid mat. So the differential settlement is equal to 0. If the rigidity factor is equal to 0.5, our differential settlement is equal to 0.1. If the rigidity factor is equal to 0, then our differential settlement for square mat foundation, which is having a ratio of B all over L, is equal to 1, and the differential settlement is equal to 0.5 for long foundations, wherein the ratio between B all over L is equal to 0. So for the field settlement observation for mat foundation, according to Meyerhof, we assume that the field settlement of observation for mat foundation is given by this equation. So that is 2Q 2 times the net allowable bearing capacity all over the N sub 60. Of course, N sub 60 is the standard penetration resistance values. So we have here a table for the settlement of mat foundation on sand and gravel based on the study of Meyerhof. So you have here cases, and of course you are given with our values for the net allowable bearing capacity and the value for N sub 60. And you can have the calculated magnitude for the approximate settlement for mat foundation on the last column. For compensated foundation, okay, you move on to compensated foundation. So compensated foundation is a type of foundation which work on the principle that if the weight of the material excavated equals the weight of the building added to the soil that is subjected to no additional stresses. So it is also known as floating foundation, as the structure acts in a similar way to a ship hull. So if you're going to have a compensated foundation, it is used to support heavily loaded structures resting on a soft and low permeable soil, and it aids in the reduction in settlement due to the lowering of the stress transferred to the underlying soil. So basically, for compensated foundation, it is also used to support heavily loaded structures that is constructed on a soft, weak bearing capacity soil. So for compensated foundation, it is when the net pressure increase in the soil under a mat foundation can be reduced by increasing the depth of the mat foundation. So extremely useful when structures are to be built on very soft clay. So in this design, a deeper basement is made lower the higher portion of the superstructure so that the net increase in the soil at any depth is relatively uniform. So if you're going to observe, this is a compensated foundation. This is a compensated foundation wherein for a higher portion of the superstructure, you have a deeper basement. So you have a deeper basement for a higher portion of the superstructure so that the net pressure increase in soil at any depth is relatively uniform, because you increase the depthness of your foundation for a higher portion of the superstructure, so the net pressure below would be relatively uniform. So the net average applied on the soil is, you have Q is equal to capital Q over A subtracted by gamma times dF. So this relation for dF is usually referred to as the depth of the fully compensated foundation. So the factor of safety against the bearing capacity failure for partially compensated foundation may be given as, so you have here the formula for the factor of safety, that is net allowable bearing capacity all over the net average on the soil. So you have this expression, or it can be equivalent to this equation. Of course, you have to take note that dF, which is the depth of the foundation, is equal to Q all over area times A. For saturated clay, the factor of safety is given by this equation. So you have the presence of your length of the foundation, width of the foundation, the depth of the foundation, the total load applied, your area of the foundation, the unit weight of the soil, and the depth of the foundation. So you have here a sample problem related to the compensated foundation. So the mat foundation shown in the figure has a dimension. This is our figure for our problem stated in sample number 1, has a dimension of 60 feet by 100 feet. The total dead and live load on the mat is 25 times 10 to the third kips. The mat is placed over a saturated clay having a unit weight of 120 pounds per cubic feet, and you have the C sub U. This is the undrained shear strength is 2,800 pounds per square feet. Given that the dF is equal to 5 feet, determine the factor of safety against bearing capacity failure. So you're going to make use of the this equation. You have a mat foundation that is constructed over a saturated clay. So using this equation, you are given with the parameters, value for B, the value for L, the depth of the foundation, the total load applied, the area of the foundation, unit weight, and the depth of the foundation. You simply have to substitute to this equation, and you are going to obtain the factor of safety, which is 4.66. So the second problem is, you are going to consider you have a mat foundations 90 feet by 120 feet in plan, as shown in this figure. So you're going to identify the consolidated settlement at the center of the foundation. So for this one, you're going to get the settlement at the center of the foundation. So you make use of the settlement formula in our previous chapter in soil mechanics for consolidation settlement. So this is the formula. So you have to obtain our effective stress. And of course, all of this are the concept of soil mechanics. Obtain the effective stress. Effective stress from here is, you have 6 plus 5 times the unit weight plus 40 times the unit weight. Since this is saturated, minus, you have to subtract the unit weight of the water in pounds per cubic feet, and then plus half of this, 18 all over 2 times 118, which is the saturated unit weight subtracted by the unit weight of the water. You get your value for the effective stress. And of course, you have your H of C, and you have your C sub C and E sub O. You simply have to get now our Q, the effective surcharge for this problem, and you get the value of 3,567 pounds per square feet. Then of course you have to calculate now the average stress increase in the clay layer below the corner of each rectangular area. So you use this equation from our soil mechanics. Of course, you simply have to identify the value for the other parameters based on our given figure.